announcing the arrival of His Excellency the Coordinating Minister for Human Development and Cultural Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia and His Excellency the Minister of Culture of the Republic of Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to their excellencies. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of the Republic of Indonesia. Indonesia Raya. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Chandi, a word that carries the weight of memory and the promise of tomorrow. A monument of thought, where earth and sky, past and future, heritage and innovation converge. The culture is a living force, breathing, changing, guiding humanity through the currents of time. It is the voice of heritage, whispering through stone and tradition, rooting us in identity. It is the beauty of the arts, a universal language, uniting hearts beyond borders and nations. It is the narrative of humankind, woven through time, reminding our past, inspiring our future. It is the spirit of diplomacy, where culture builds bridges of peace and understanding. It is the spark of innovation, keeping culture alive and guiding the way forward. From Bali, Indonesia, we share the light of culture with the world. Chandi 2025. Culture for the future.
As a warm welcome to Bali, the sound of Nusantara, Maha Merdanga Nuswantara music. a composition blending the grandeur and majestic of Nuswantara's cosmic tones, in harmony with a variety of percussion instruments, the tifa of Papua, kendang belik of Lombok, kendang Sulawesi, kendang of Bali, kendang of Java, Sunda, rebana of Betawi, dol of Bengkulu, tabuik of West Sumatra, and rapai of Aceh. The performance will begin with the blessings from the pamangku, the Balinese priest. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the performance of Maha Merdanga Nuswantara, extending a warm welcome to Bali, the sound of Nusantara, the sound of the archipelago. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace be upon us all. Blessings to everyone. Namo Buddhaya, Om Swastiastu, greetings of virtue. Your Excellency, the Coordinating Minister for Human Development and Cultural Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, Mr. Pratikno, on behalf of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Indonesia. Your Excellency, the Minister of Culture of the Republic of Indonesia, Dr. Fadli Zon. Excellencies, Ministers, Vice Ministers from Indonesia and foreign countries, and also Your Excellencies, Ambassadors and members of the Diplomatic Corps, international organizations, heads of delegation, Governor of Bali, Mr. Wayan Koster. And thank you as well to all the other Indonesian governors, distinguished speakers, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Paradise Island, Bali. And welcome to the opening ceremony of Chandi 2025. Culture, heritage, art, narrative, diplomacy and innovation, culture for the future. A round of applause for Chandi 2025. Culture can serve as a medium to promote peace, stability, and sustainable development while fostering human creativity, especially amid increasing global uncertainty and complexity. Chandi 2025 emphasizes that culture can be a unifying and relevant force in responding to the challenges of the 21st century. This three-day event presents a strategic opportunity to bring together world leaders, policymakers, academics, artists, and cultural actors from diverse countries to discuss the future direction of culture in an increasingly interconnected and rapidly evolving world. This forum will serve as a platform for exchanging ideas and experiences that can enhance the role of culture in fostering a harmonious, just, and peaceful world. To start this auspicious occasion, keynote speech by His Excellency, the Minister of Culture of the Republic of Indonesia, we kindly invite His Excellency, Dr. Fadli Zon.
Excellency, Professor Dr. Pratikno, Coordinating Minister for Human Development and Cultural Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, Vice Minister of Culture, Bapak Giring Ganesa, Ministers and Vice Ministers of Cultural Affairs from friendly countries, thank you very much for coming. Brunei Darussalam, from Singapore, Libya, Palestine, Syria, Zimbabwe, Jordan, Iran, Uzbekistan, and Venezuela. Also ambassadors to the Republic of Indonesia and head of delegation, honorable representatives and high-level officials from Albania, Cambodia, France, Ireland, Italy, Malaysia, Morocco, Serbia, Thailand, United Kingdom, Armenia, Algeria, Bangladesh, Belarus, Belgium, Bulgaria, Cyprus, Fiji, Georgia, India, Laos, Mongolia, Netherlands, Oman, Pakistan, Russia, Rwanda, Tanzania, and Tunisia. And of course, Honorable Mr. Wayan Koster, Governor of Bali, the governors who attended this event, honorable regents, mayors, vice regents, vice mayors from all over Indonesia, and distinguished members of delegation, cultural figures, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan, Rahayu, may peace be upon us all. Good morning. It is an honor and great joy to welcome you to the Culture, Heritage, Art, Narrative, Diplomacy and Innovation, Chandi 2025, at the beautiful island of Bali. We are honored to welcome the honorable representatives and delegates, ministers from 40 countries, and the regional leaders, governors, regents, and mayors from all provinces in Indonesia to Chandi 2025. On behalf of the Ministry of Culture of the Republic of Indonesia, I would like to convey our appreciation for the long-standing friendship between Indonesia and all friendly countries, especially for your commitment to strengthening the cultural cooperation between our nations. I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to the local governments, governors, regents, mayors, and all regional leaders from all provinces in Indonesia for their leadership in cultural advancement. To the Governor of Bali, Mr. Wayan Koster, thank you for your outstanding support for Chandi 2025. I believe that Bali is a place where tradition and creativity thrive in harmony and are deeply rooted in community values, spirituality, and artistic expression that inspire the world. Chandi 2025, initiated by the Ministry of Culture of the Republic of Indonesia, is part of the commemoration of the 80th anniversary of the Republic of Indonesia, which aims to highlight the vital role of culture in shaping the future by advancing cultural diplomacy as a powerful tool for peace building and sustainable development, exploring innovative strategies for cultural preservation and cultural advancement, promoting the integration of sustainability and community-based approaches as inclusive policy frameworks, and fostering collaboration to build an inclusive, innovative, and sustainable cultural ecosystem at local, national, and international levels. Today, the challenges we face are complex, from geopolitical tensions and climate change to environmental degradation, social inequalities, and rapid technological advances. These interconnected issues demand solutions that go beyond traditional approaches. To that end, I believe that culture is a powerful tool to unite us, transcending borders, languages, and differences. It connects people through shared stories, values, and expressions, reminding us of our common humanity. Under the theme, Culture for the Future, we hope that Chandi 2025 can serve as a global platform to explore the transformative power of culture in shaping a more inclusive, peaceful, and sustainable future. Ladies and gentlemen, with 280 million citizens, more than 1,340 ethnic groups speaking over 718 local languages, and a total 2,213 intangible cultural heritage, and more than 50,000 lists of potential intangible cultural heritage, Indonesia is blessed with mega diversity, our greatest potential for shaping a more interconnected and harmonious world. We also hold a significant place in the study of early human history, given the discovery of various hominin fossils, including Homo erectus and Homo floresiensis, Homo erectus, or the Java man fossil dating back 1.8 million years ago, were first found in Java. Indonesia also has the largest collection of ancient human fossils, with 60% of the world's Homo erectus fossils found in many areas in our country, including the proof of cave painting in Leang-Leang Cave in Maros, Sulawesi, and also in many other places, as well as the Sangiran, Trinil, Ngandong archaeological sites in Java, crucial evidence of ancient human adaptation and evolution of Homo erectus, making Indonesia a nation with the world's oldest civilization in the world. For centuries, the Indonesian archipelago has been a melting pot of inter-civilizational exchange of diverse cultures, from east to the west and from north to the south, that have dynamically blended, producing a variety of cultural expressions reflecting the rich history and diversity of cultural heritage. We have long embraced the principle of Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, unity in diversity, where we are proud of our principle of living in harmony, and also the rich traditions of Gotong Royong, cooperation, and Musyawarah, deliberation, strengthening our resolve to promote intercultural dialogue and contributing actively to peace-building efforts across the world. At this critical juncture in human history, we are reminded that the richness of our civilizations, our languages, traditions, philosophies, and ways of life is not a source of division, but a wellspring of collective strength. Under the leadership of President Prabowo Subianto, Indonesia has established its first ever Ministry of Culture, and this historic development affirms our national commitment to protecting our diverse heritage, advancing cultural sustainability, and contributing more meaningfully to international civilizational dialogue. Rooted in the 1945 Constitution, Article 32, the state promotes the national culture amid world civilization by guaranteeing the freedom of the people to preserve and develop their cultural values. And guided by Asta Cita 8, President Prabowo's vision to achieve a just and prosperous society, strengthening the alignment of harmonious living with the environment, nature, and culture. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to share with you that Indonesia's pop culture, such as our film industry, is rapidly expanding, producing a wide array of captivating stories that reflect our rich cultural diversity and creativity. In 2024 alone, more than 200 movies were produced, with local films securing 70% of the national box office. So until September 2025, the number of audiences reached 60 million until today, while the film production reached over 200 titles. And by 2027, Indonesia's screen industry is projected to contribute $9.8 billion to national GDP, with job creation expected to grow by 14% annually. Through initiatives such as film labs, script writing workshops, matching funds, and co-production, we are actively strengthening our movie ecosystem and stand ready to welcome international collaboration in the movie sector with all of the delegates of Chandi 2024. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, as we stand at the crossroads of an ever-changing world, it is clear that culture is not merely a relic of the past, but a vital and dynamic force shaping our collective future. Culture ignites creativity, nurtures innovation, and inspires the values that guide us toward a more inclusive, equitable, and sustainable world. It connects us across borders and generations, reminding us that despite our diversity, we share a common humanity. Let us draw strength from the rich diversity of our civilizations, and through mutual learning and understanding, work together to safeguard our shared heritage, promote sustainable development, and ensure lasting peace for generation to come. Thank you very much. Terima kasih. Matur suksma. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, remarks by His Excellency, the Coordinating Minister for Human Development and Cultural Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, on behalf of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Indonesia, followed by the sounding of the Dol, traditional drum of Bengkulu, marking the official opening of Chandi 2025, and the signing of the first day commemorative stamp cover. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Pratikno.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semuanya. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, Rahayu. His Excellency Pak Fadlizon, the Ministry of Culture of the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Dato Seri Istia Awang Haji Nasmi, Minister of Culture, Youth, Sport and of Brunei, Darussalam. We met a few months ago in Sarawak. The Excellency Minister of Culture, Arts and the State of Libya, Excellency Mabruk Toki, and the Acting Minister of Culture and Community of Youth Singapore, Excellency David Neo Jinwi, Excellency Muhammad Yassin Saleh, Minister of Culture of Syria, the Excellency Kazambe, Minister of Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage of the Republic of Zimbabwe, my colleague from the Cabinet, Pak Menteri, Pak Fadlizon, Pak Giring, and other Vice Ministries, and also Pak Gubernur, the Governor of Bali, Pak Wayan Koster, Pak Gubernur of East Nusa Tenggara Timur, Pak Melki, and all the distinguished delegates, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Government of Indonesia, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all participants. But regrettably, President Prabowo Subianto is unable to attend the Chandi Summit in person. However, he conveys his warm greeting and best wishes for the success of this esteemed gathering. Mr. President hopes that this summit will serve as a cultural bridge among nations, fostering peace and prosperity for the benefit of all nations. Excellencies, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. In this distinguished gathering, I just would like to underline one single issue. Let us deliberate on the role of the technological disruption in reinventing the future of human culture and its development. The rapid advancement of digital technologies and artificial intelligence is reshaping our lives, transforming how knowledge is produced, preserved, and transmitted. This technology hold enormous potential, but they also carry dire risks. The concentration of digital power in a handful of languages and cultural traditions is creating what academic calls a crisis of cultural representation. Current data shows that over 90% of digital content is produced in just 12 languages. Thousands of other languages and oral traditions risk being lost. It's not because they lack value, but because algorithms fail to see them. Also, AI systems are trained mainly on Western data, making many cultures invisible online. This is not just a technical problem. This is a profound moral challenge. To answer these challenges, our nation must stress on at least, as I propose, the following 4 essential pillars. First, community empowerment. Cultural heritage belongs to the communities who preserve it. Our regulation requires prior informed consent and ensure fair benefit sharing. Second, inclusive artificial intelligence development. We must invest globally in multilingual artificial intelligence system, reflecting humanity's full spectrum, guided by cultural impact assessments that respect diversity and mitigate bias. Third, values-based education. Digital literacy must be rooted in cultural values. Let us shape our citizens to be digitally competent, culturally grounded, and ethically responsible. That's, I think, the challenge all over the world at the moment. And fourth, human-centered governance. Artificial intelligence must serve people. Artificial intelligence must serve culture and serve community cohesion. Indonesia is developing ethical frameworks under the Ministry of Communication and Digital, putting human dignity and cultural preservation at the center of technological progress. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, our ancestors safeguarded culture through wisdom, cooperation, and mutual respect. Today, we face the same responsibility digitally. Let us ensure technology strengthens rather than weakens cultural bonds. Let us build artificial intelligence that speaks all languages, preserve all stories, and serves all people. Let us create governance framework, prioritizing human dignity and cultural diversity. Our choice is clear. Do not allow technology to fragment societies. Instead, we should harnessing technology to celebrate cultural wisdom that has sustained humanity through countless challenges. Let us make Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, unity in diversity, the foundation of our shared digital civilization. Terima kasih. Atur sukma. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We kindly invite to accompany His Excellency the Coordinating Minister for the Dol Traditional Drum Sounding from Bengkulu, Minister of Culture of the Republic of Indonesia, Mr. Fadli Zon, Vice Minister of Culture of the Republic of Indonesia, Mr. Giring Ganesha, the Honorable Governor of Bali, Mr. Wayan Koster, and the Secretary General of the Ministry of Culture of the Republic of Indonesia, Mr. Bambang Wibawarta. Please kindly come up on stage. The sounding of the dol, traditional drum of Bengkulu, by His Excellency, the Coordinating Minister for Human Development and Cultural Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. A round of applause. Chandi 2025 is officially opened. And now, the signing of the first day commemorative cover of Chandi 2025. We would like to kindly invite the Coordinating Minister for Human Development and Cultural Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia and the Minister of Culture of the Republic of Indonesia to sign the first day commemorative cover of Chandi 2025. PT Pos Indonesia issues the stamps which are valid for postal services within Indonesia. Distinguished gentlemen, please kindly sign the commemorative cover of Chandi 2025. You may choose. The stamps of Chandi 2025 will be valid for postal services from Indonesia. Ministers, can you please show to the audience the stamp cover of the first day edition? A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Chandi 2025. Thank you very much. Please kindly return to your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, Indonesia is an island nation that consists of more than 17,000 islands stretched like a garland of emeralds along the equator. Rich in art and culture, it is home to more than 280 million people. Following is the Chancala Buana Candika dance. This dance is choreographed by the Indonesian Institute of the Arts, ISI Bali, together with Bungan Dedari Art Troupe, a dance that pays homage to sacred literature and the essence of true Kawi wisdom. Candika represents a timeless masterpiece of the archipelago or Nusantara civilization, embodying the very soul of music and dance. Please welcome Chancala Buana Candika dance. Chancala Buana Chandika dance performed by students of the Indonesian Institute of the Arts, ISI, Bali, and Bungan, the Dari Art Troupe. The dance is an ancient dance tradition that is very integral to the religious and artistic expressions of the Balinese people. Chancala means movement or transformation. Buana refers to the world or the universe. Chandika embodies a divine feminine power, often associated with the protection and destruction of evil. Chancala Buana Chandika dance, a movement of transformation referring to the world or to the universe, and also defining the true feminine power of women. Ladies and gentlemen, following is a keynote address, Culture for the Future, a bridge to building peace and prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, may I kindly invite Minister of Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage of the Republic of Zimbabwe, His Excellency, Mr. Kazembe.
Thank you very much, the Master of Ceremonies. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Indonesia, President Prabowo Subianto, as represented by Professor Dr. Pratikno, the Coordinating Minister for Human Development and Cultural Affairs in the Republic of Indonesia. The Minister of Culture, Dr. Fali Zon, and other colleague ministers here present, vice ministers here present, ambassadors, and other heads of delegation here present, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to ride on the protocols already established. Good morning. I don't hear a response. Good morning. That sounds better. Thank you so much. You can clap more, it's okay. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, I bring to you the warmest greetings from the great plains of the African savannah, from the enduring majesty of great Zimbabwe, and from a nation whose heartbeat is the rhythm of Mbira and the wisdom of our ancestors. It is indeed a profound honor to stand before you in this beautiful, culturally rich island of Bali, which provides a befitting backdrop for my address today, titled Culture for the Future, a Bridge to Building Peace and Prosperity. The significance of Bali as a center for representing the cultures of more than 17,000 islands that make up the world's largest and archipelagic nation, the Republic of Indonesia, cannot be understated as we attempt to draw parallels and build bridges for peace between communities, cities, nations, and continents. We are gathered at a critical juncture in human history. Our world is often fractured by conflict, inequality, and environmental challenges. In the frantic rush towards modernization, we are sometimes told to look only forward, to shed the skin of the past. But I stand here today to assert fundamental truth. Our greatest compass for the future is not found in forgetting our past, but in understanding our cultural heritage, as it reminds our past and inspires the future. Allow me to abuse my proximity to the mic for a few seconds and talk about my own country, Zimbabwe, which has a rich history of cultural preservation, and whenever strife its ugly head, it is common practice for us to draw our ancient cultural heritage of Ubuntu, Unu, to find unity and make peace. Ubuntu is sub-Saharan cultural ethos of community, interconnectedness, and mutual respect. It simply implies that I am because you are. Without you, there is no me. This also inspires our national mantra, championed by our president, Comrade Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, that Zimbabwe is a friend to all and an enemy to none. This philosophy, distinguished delegates, is etched in stone at the ancient city of Great Zimbabwe. The Great Zimbabwe consists of magnificent structures built with stones without mortar and has stood for centuries. How has that happened? Because each stone was carefully chosen to fit and support the other. It is a powerful metaphor for our world today. Our different cultures, traditions, and beliefs are like those stones. Alone, of course, they're impressive, but when carefully, respectfully, and intelligently fit together, we can build civilizations that endure for millennia. This is the first pillar of our bridge, the wisdom of our indigenous knowledge systems, teaching us unity and resilience. Zimbabwe exemplifies cultural diversity and traditional resilience. Landmarks such as Manapus, Victoria Falls, Kami National Monument, and Matobo World Heritage Site, and of course the Great Zimbabwe, highlight this legacy. Additionally, the nation is celebrated for Mbira music and Mbende Jerusalem dance, which are UNESCO inscribed as treasures of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. And our vibrant contemporary art always illustrating how culture remains a vital force for development, dialogue, and diplomacy. Culture acts as a vital bridge connecting nations across the globe. The architectural genius of Great Zimbabwe, built without mortar, as I mentioned earlier on, yet it has been standing for over 1,000 years. The masterful precision of the Nubian pyramids of Sudan, constructed by our ancient African queens, and the ancient shrines of Gunung Kawi, right here in Bali, demonstrate how indigenous innovation can surpass contemporary engineering. This same spirit of indigenous ingenuity could revolutionize modern challenges, from sustainable architecture to urban planning to food security. The First Lady of Zimbabwe, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, has done impressive work in the preservation and promotion of gastronomy tourism, culminating in Zimbabwe hosting the maiden UN Tourism Regional Forum on Gastronomy Tourism for Africa 2024. Across Africa, we see culture as the engine of progress. In Mali, the griots have been the living libraries of West Africa for centuries, preserving history, law, and social norms through oral narratives. Today, that same powerful tradition of storytelling is being channeled through film, literature, and digital media. It is now a global economic powerhouse, creating jobs and shaping narratives. This is culture for prosperity. It is taking the ancient art of the griot and giving it a modern pen, a camera, a coding language. Young Africans are using digital platforms to teach indigenous languages, to create animation based on traditional myths, and to design fashion inspired by ancestral patterns. They are building economic prosperity on a foundation of cultural pride. Culture fosters empathy and shatters stereotypes. When we watch a Nigerian film, when we are moved by a Bengali poem, when we dance to the beat of Colombian cumbia or Zimbabwean jiti, or the fire dance which we were mesmerized by last night when we had our dinner, I think we all followed it, we all tried to understand the storyline behind it. And that way we are not just being entertained, but we are stepping into the emotional world of another people. We see their joys, their sorrows, their hopes, their struggles, and of course their successes. And we recognize our shared humanity. This emotional connection is what removes the tendency to view each other as strangers or enemies. The arts make empathy tangible. Cultural heritage serves as a safeguard against identity-based violence. When some seek to destroy ancient civilizations, they do so precisely because they understand the power of culture. They know that to destroy a people, you must first erase their memory. You must first cut that umbilical cord between them and where they come from. They know that, therefore, the act of preserving cultural heritage, whether it's the manuscripts of Borobudur Temple of Indonesia, is not a niche academic pursuit. It is a direct act of defending human dignity and preventing cultural cleansing. It is an active practice of peace. Just as culture is a foundation of peace, it is also a powerful engine for inclusive and sustainable prosperity. We must move beyond the limited view of culture as a cost center and see it for what it truly is, a strategic economic asset. The creative economy is one of the fastest growing sectors globally. It is not new. It is the modern industrialized expression of our innate human creativity. Bollywood, India's film industry, is a prime example. As alluded to also by the Minister of Culture, Dr. Fali John, you mentioned that 59 million viewers in the Indonesian film industry. That's not a small figure. It clearly shows that the film industry does not emerge from government white papers or investment fund. It grows organically from deep-seated culture, rooted in traditions such as choreographed performances, folklore, traveling theater groups. Today, it is a multi-billion-dollar industry that employs millions, from actors and directors to designers and builders, and it projects cultural narratives across the globe. This model is replicable across sectors. Think of the fashion industry, for example. The vibrant Kitenge and Ankara prints of Africa, the delicate silverwork of the Bebas, and the natural dye methods of India. The famous batik fabric, created using the traditional Indonesian art form of hand-drawn and stamped patterns. These are not just crafts, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends. They are unique intellectual property, the basis for sustainable luxury brands that can command premium value in the global market while providing dignified livelihoods for entire communities. Let us not forget the agricultural wisdom embedded in our cultures. Zimbabwe, for example. In Zimbabwe, we have a practice called Fumvuza, spearheaded by His Excellency the President of Zimbabwe, which has revolutionized farming in Zimbabwe and brought food sufficiency within the first 2 years of implementation. Fumvuza, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished delegates, is a climate-smart method for maximizing yields from small plots through the traditional cultural practice of zero tillage. The rice terrace systems of the Philippine Cordilleras and of Bali itself are masterclasses in sustainable water management and soil conservation developed over centuries. In a world facing food insecurity and climate change, the indigenous knowledge is not an alternative. It is essential technology for our future survival and prosperity. Allow me, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to delve into some global examples that will further push us to appreciation of the power of cultural preservation in driving economic growth. The evidence surrounds us. In South Korea, for example, a deliberate national strategy to invest in its cultural industry, from K-pop to K-dramas, has paid enormous dividends. It is not just an economic success story, it is a powerful tool of soft power, making South Korea one of the most admired and influential nations, building bridges of friendship and fascination across the globe. In Bolivia and Ecuador, the indigenous concept of Pachamama, Mother Earth, has been enshrined in law, granting legal rights to nature. This is a stunning example of culture directly shaping policy to create a more sustainable and prosperous relationship with our planet. Even in the technologically advanced nations of the global north, we see a yearning to reconnect with cultural roots through farm-to-table food movements, through the revival of artisan crafts, and through the popularity of genealogy. This is a search for meaning and sustainability in a fragmented modern world, providing that cultural prosperity is a universal human need. Therefore, distinguished guests, our charge is clear and urgent. We must deliberate architects of this cultural bridge. We must integrate culture into national development plans. We must move culture from the periphery of government to the center of strategic planning. Ministries responsible for finances must see cultural infrastructure and the creative industry as creative investments and not as expenses. We must invest in cultural education. We must teach our children their languages, their histories, their traditional arts and philosophies. This is not about living in the past. It is about giving them a rooted identity from which they can confidently engage with the world. A Zimbabwean child who knows the history of the 12th century Great Zimbabwe walks into a global boardroom with inherent confidence. Let us leverage technology for preservation and access. Let us use digital tools to create vast archives of our oral histories, languages, and music. Let us use virtual reality to allow a child in the diaspora to walk through the monuments of their ancestors. Let us use e-commerce platforms to connect a master craftswoman in a rural village to a global market. Let's practice cultural diplomacy relentlessly. We must support artist exchanges, collaborative productions, and cultural festivals. The shared experience of creating art together is one of the most potent forms of diplomacy known to mankind. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, and this is the genuine, real conclusion, I know politicians who have a tendency of concluding so many times before we actually conclude. You say finally, and then lastly, and then last but not least, and as I conclude. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually genuinely concluding. The bridge to the future we all seek, a future of peace, dignity, and shared prosperity, is already designed. Its blueprint is found in our collective cultural heritage. It is built with the stones of Ubuntu. I want us to remember this word, Ubuntu, which means you are because I am because you are. It is built with the stones of Ubuntu, woven with the threads of our diverse narratives, and illuminated by the creative spark that exists in every human community. Let us be the generation that had the wisdom to cross that bridge. Let us share our songs, learn each other's dances, trade our stories, and build economies that honor our planet and our people. For in the grand symphony of human existence, every culture is a vital instrument with a unique sound. Only when we all play together, respecting each other's score, can we create a harmony so powerful, so beautiful, that it will resonate for generations to come, ensuring a future that is not only prosperous and peaceful, but truly human. And let's all remember that peace begins with you, peace begins with me, peace begins with all of us. I thank you. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Minister Kazembe, for your resourceful speech, providing us with insights into the Zimbabwe situation. And again, we must be deliberate in architecture for this cultural bridge that we want to develop. Next, ladies and gentlemen, is keynote address, the role of youth in fostering peace through culture. Please welcome our youth representative, Jana Abu Salha.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jana Abu Salha, and I am a medical student in Unhan's Defense University. And I'm really proud to stand here. Is everyone's health is okay? Because in the future, if anyone's feeling tired, please don't hesitate to come to my clinic in the future. So let's begin our presentation. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, honorable ministers, vice ministers, ambassadors, and vice ambassadors. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. First, allow me to express my deepest gratitude to the Ministry of Culture of the Republic of Indonesia for granting me this great honor to speak before such an esteemed gathering. It is a privilege to stand here in the presence of leaders and visionaries who dedicate their lives to shaping peace, justice, and harmony across nations. Distinguished guests, as we gather today, we are reminded that peace is not built solely through politics or agreements, but also through the power of culture. Culture is the language that unites us beyond borders. It is expressed through art, tradition, music, and food. And the way we share our humanity. And youth play a vital role in sharing culture because we are the generation that carries both the memory of our heritage and the creativity to imagine new futures. Through culture, young people can bridge divides, heal wounds, and create understanding where there was once conflict. Today, I would like to share with you some reflections of the role of youth in fostering culture and peace. And how can we transform energy, creativity, and diversity into real instruments of peace? As a beginning, let me start by saying that too often that we hear that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. But actually, I would say that this is not correct. The youth are the leaders of today. They are the architects of the future. So we should include them more in political issues, in cultural issues, because this is their future. How can we make decisions about the future without the very generation that will heritage these consequences? Ladies and gentlemen, when young people take leadership through culture, whether by creating music, telling stories, or leading community projects, they prove that leadership isn't just about age, but it's about vision. And when this vision is guided by empathy and hope, walls fall and bridges rise. Because culture is one of the most powerful antidotes to division. When people listen to each other music, taste each other food, or watch each other movies, they began to understand each other's hearts. Because there's a simple law in psychology which says, when you don't understand something fully, or when you lack knowledge of something, you actually may begin to hate it and criticize it. So in order to erase this, we must teach the youth about differences and cultural exchanges, and how can we embrace other cultures. We need to make this knowledge embedded in our hearts. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, here are some pictures of cultural exchange. We can see here the kimono dress from Japan with the Palestinian embroidery, which are a great example of cultural exchange. There is the Indonesian cuisine, which can, a lot of people, food is a love language across all nations. So by sharing this and by giving this message to the youth, we make sure that the future is bright again. And how can we see culture as an identity and a resilience? Because a great example of culture, I might say, is think of K-pop, bringing Korea to the world, or how cuisines introduce nations without borders. From Palestine, our kufiyya and the embroidery, travels across continents, not as fashion only, but as a living symbol of solidarity, peace, and resilience. Because in Palestine, culture is so much more than a tradition. It is the heartbeat of resilience, the language of identity, and the strength and the thread that connects generations. Ladies and gentlemen, even though for people under crisis, like my own country, culture is not just something we can just use for festivals or any type of art, but it is a survival tool. It is a must for us because culture is an identity. Because it is our peaceful way of saying to the world, we are here and we exist and we will continue. Every song sung in our language, every dance performed in our tradition, every festival organized under difficulty, it is not only art, it is a peaceful resistance. It is hope and it is identity carried forward. And as you've seen, ladies and gentlemen, in this presentation I added a lot of countries, cultures, because even though my own culture is now under a war of non-existence, how can we manage, even though all of this war is happening, but I will still continue and deliver the idea that we should understand each other's cultures, because like I said, ignorance can be really problematic. Ignorance can make us hate people, things, without even trying to understand them, without even giving them a chance to speak. And this is really wrong, because it is really bad when we put aspects on someone when they didn't even talk before. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to say that we can use peace and culture as a tool for youth of peace builders. How? So an example, a great example of that, we have the Palestinian poet, which is Mahmoud Darwish. He says, "Through culture we live, and with words we raise the wall of hope. So the story does not break before the usurper, nor does the sky fade from our eyes." And as a conclusion of my speech about how the youth have a role in culture and fostering culture, I would like to say that culture is not only our past, but it is the language of our future shared. When young people embrace culture, they become not just citizens of their own countries, but connectors of the world. And I would like to say something as I'm standing here in front of your excellencies all. You have a great job of giving an impact to the youth, because of course they look up to you. You give them an effect on, I want to become a leader like the leaders I see in front of me. So you need to give them the chance to speak their voices, the chance to share their voices, to give them not just slogans, but to give them actual seats in culture representing. Ladies and gentlemen, every time we share culture, we build a bridge instead of a wall. And I thank you all. I thank Indonesia for hosting this meaningful dialogue on peace. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jana Abu Salha, for delivering your thoughts and ideas representing the youth of the world in creating resilience, solidarity, peace, justice, and harmony through culture as a survival tool. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have another dance performance. However, we would like to kindly invite His Excellency, the Coordinating Minister for Human Development and Cultural Affairs, and His Excellency, the Minister of Culture of the Republic of Indonesia, to proceed with a photo session with all the heads of delegation, and then afterwards continue to Ballroom 3 for the Ministerial Summit. Excellencies, ministers, vice ministers, ambassadors, as well as heads of delegation and Governor of Bali, please kindly make way to the pre-function hall for a photo opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in thanking ministers, vice ministers, ambassadors, heads of delegation, and all the governors. Remaining guests and delegates, please remain seated as we will continue with the dance performance.